Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today is month, day, year. Why didn't somebody change the script for me?
Wow. November 1st.
Okay, here we go.
Jules, we need a mod for that.
Auto update that date for me. Hey everybody, today is November 1st, 2022. I'm your host, Jiroc the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Gwen the Shield Maiden.
Howdy.
Shield Maiden,
Gwen.
Morning Darkness.
Hello.
We also have Jules the Viking.
Yeehaw. Hi, guys.
And we have Bambi the Shield Maiden.
Hello there.
And joining us for the first time is Viking Carnivore.
Hello.
Welcome, Carnivore. Carnivore is a member of my Valheim server community. And so good to have you on the show today, Carnivore. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Awesome. The viewers will see that you only get to see Morning Darkness over there and myself in beautiful HD and color here. Everybody else had to be off camera today, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll just do lots of close-ups of this beautiful beard and this beautiful Morning Darkness.
I was going to say, does that mean I can turn off my camera too?
This video is sponsored by G-Portal. They host all of my servers, and I have to say they are pretty awesome. You can save 10% with my link in the description. Yeah, so Carnivore, welcome to the podcast. I'd like to ask everybody, our guest, what part of the world are you from?
So I am from the United States, more specifically the Midwest, up in Wisconsin. It's just a small little town.
Okay, very nice.
And the land of cheese and cows.
So Carnivore, interesting name. Can you tell us how you came to use Carnivore as your online alias, as your character name?
Yeah, so when I was kind of first getting back into gaming, I took a couple years off after high school to just kind of focus on adulting. But when I started getting back into gaming, I was actually going through sort of a carnivore diet, is what it's called, for medical reasons. And a lot of that is, just eating like animal products, milk, cheeses, meats, and the like. It's basically the opposite of vegetarian. And that's just what I thought was kind of a cool name. It was something that was different from everybody else. I just didn't want to be, Viking Slayer 1, 2, 3 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's always interesting to see how people got their names. They'll choose, sometimes they just pull it out of nowhere. It's a variation of their real name. Or, yeah, like in your case, it is some, going on in your life that you found interesting and you chose it as a name. So, and I haven't seen anybody running around with that name, at least not on my server. So it works out perfectly. You're Carnivore.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Carnivore, what were some of your favorite games to play before Valheim?
So before Valheim, I was very big into World of Warcraft, as well as first-person shooters such as Halo, Call of Duty, things like that. I actually come from a long line of Call of Duty playing, all the way back from the original over, the past 19 years.
Very cool. And then how did you discover Valheim?
So I had just bought a new PC I had built by a local shop, and I was just installing Steam, and it was basically the day of when Valheim was, first being announced and launched and everything. And I was like, that seems new. I'll check that out. It's $20. It's worth it. And I fell in love with it, especially the building aspect. I spent about 300 hours just playing solo, building grand towns and halls and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. And what convinced you to play on Jiroc servers?
Well, it was the solo aspect, actually, because I put about 300 hours into it as a solo player, and I built everything I possibly wanted to build, and I had these enormous buildings that never really had any life in them. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to go out and find a server to join. And when I seen Jiroc, I was like, okay, it's time to stop being shy.
Nice. Well, welcome in. It's
Thank
been
you.
fun having you around.
And Carnivore, so far, what has been your favorite thing about playing on Jiroc server?
It's definitely been the community aspect, especially the clan system that you have going on. I felt very, welcomed by all of the clans. Specifically, I've been running with our Rangers of the Mist, but also the Scaldings have been very welcoming to me, and just getting to experience the community in that way has been really nice, and being able to share this world that I fell in love with other people who also enjoy it is wonderful.
Awesome. Well, it's so good to have you. Love learning a little bit more about each of the community members, especially since we're starting to have so many community members. I don't always get to spend as much time with them, so bringing them on the podcast to learn a little bit something about each other, and get a little parlay back and forth with myself and the other admins is really fun. I also want to point out, let's see, on my screen, I got to go backwards. Down there's a weird little fella in some weird blue outfit. Jules.
How did he get that? Wow,
Look at
must
Jules
be some
wearing
premium thing.
Look at Valheim 2.0 down there, Jules.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit freezing up there near Valhalla, so I got me a little cap.
Nice.
Normally my eyes are glowing, but you can't see it down there.
Jules, you're from the future, aren't you? That's future Valheim.
Yes. The vision of future Valheim.
Well, I got a bunch of announcements to make, but we're going to start just quickly. Did anybody do anything interesting this week? Gwen, do you want to tell us about something interesting?
Yeah, this weekend, I think I mentioned it on the podcast last week that we were talking about what things we were all doing for Halloween, and I said, well, my friends are boring. Shh, don't tell them. So the one organized a Halloween party. So instead, I went and did some combat training with my reenactment group. There was like a big weekend interregional training. As I mentioned, the society that I do reenactment with covers the whole of the UK. So every now and then there's big events or weekends that are organized where a lot of different groups from different parts of the country get together. So went to that and had a lot of fun. No injuries, a couple of bruises, but mostly it was really fun to meet new people and hang out, see familiar faces too, and just have fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, if you can't go to a Halloween party and get all dressed up, I guess combat training will suffice.
Yeah, I did get dressed up, funnily enough. So I haven't seen the final product yet, but I did dress up. I did take my medieval reenactment kit. So I didn't wear it all weekend, but I did wear it for just a short kind of filming thing that someone from another group wanted to do. It's someone who's starting a TikTok channel where they are talking about the origins of expressions, and a lot of expressions have origins in the medieval times. So he wanted to do some filming, and he had 3 expressions that were related to archery. And we had longbows and stuff, and we did archery training, which was awesome. But anyway, so I did dress up, and I will feature in one of his TikTok videos as one of the extras in the background at some point. So I don't know when that will come out and how it will look like, but I did dress up a little bit briefly.
Oh, you have to share the link with us when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Morning Darkness, what about you? What did you do for fun over Halloween?
Well, we took the little one out trick-or-treating for his first time. He's
Aw.
2 weeks away from being 2. We dressed him up as Grogu from The Mandalorian.
Oh.
We bought him a mini pumpkin, and I painted it silver. I don't know. Have you guys watched The Mandalorian?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You know the gear shift that he steals
Yeah.
off of the spaceship?
Yeah, I asked you where a couple of weeks ago when you were wearing the Grogu headpiece, the hat. I did ask you where the little metal ball was.
So I absolutely painted his mini pumpkin silver so that he could have it, and he got tired very quickly. We took him to my mom's house first, and he didn't know what was going on yet. And so he rushed into my mom's house, went straight to the back where she keeps his extra toys, and he brought them out. Like it was hilarious. But he was very fascinated by all the kids in costumes. He wanted to sit and socialize at every door. He wanted to just very carefully pick out each piece of candy. Not that he knows what candy is or that he's going to get to eat any of it. But every single piece of candy he picked had nuts in it, which cracked me up. Oh, and whenever there was a toothbrush, he picked that. He loves toothbrushes.
Something to play with and swing around and brush things with.
Oh yeah. But it was funny. It was very funny.
Great memories. Hopefully you got a lot of pictures for sharing in the future with family and him when he grows up. Hey, that was little you. Look at little you.
Yep. And the costume's just big enough that I can probably put it on him next year too.
Awesome. Well, Carnivore, what did you do over this last week for fun?
So sadly, in my real life, it's been pretty boring. But in game lately, I've been getting my shop set up in the player shop. So we're selling fish and serpent meat hopefully soon, as well as things like the harpoons and serpent scale shields. And then I've also set up my new player in preparation for the Mistlands update that's going to be coming up soon. I hope we see a lot of new players around that time. So I just kind of wanted to prep things and get it ready for when that does come.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about our new Mistlands server coming up here later in the podcast. Well, that's awesome. Awesome. Jules, you want to tell us about this thing right here? Let me, where is it?
Yeah. I got peer pressured into it, but yes, I want to tell.
Yeah, so let's see, right here. Jules, tell us, what is this?
Oh, this is poor Jules doing some Halloween stuff. I don't know. In Germany, there's not much of a Halloween tradition. It came over from America. Thanks for that, though. Now we have to give out sweets 2 times a year because we had our own tradition, St. Martin.
Oh, so, we have that as well in the Netherlands.
Yeah, sure. Now you got to give out candy twice a year too, right?
No, not yet. Halloween isn't the big thing here yet. But
okay, yeah, it's not big here either. But my kids love it. So I took my 2 kids on a little tour, and we have some people here who actually do the very American thing, as I might call it. Their houses are blinking and skeletons everywhere, and dressed up like they prepared, I don't know, a month for that stuff.
Nice.
And they give out candy too. And when we dressed up the kids, or when I dressed up the kids, I found this little very nice piece of clothing. So
I'll describe it to the listeners for those who aren't watching the video version of the podcast.
Oh yes, please.
So we have a very handsome young man here. His beard could be better. It's a little short, you know.
Oh, low blow, Jiroc.
Wow.
But he is in this very beautiful, vibrant black and purple jester costume with some really cool looking gold trim around the collar. If you're just listening to this, it's worth checking out on YouTube the video version of Jules in his costume here. And it's pretty awesome looking costume. Where did you find that costume?
Oh, there's a bit of a backstory. It was in my possession for quite a bit years now. We bought that off some shady store for a friend who got married. Then there's I don't know, you probably have that tradition too, where the friends of the friend who will get married take him out to get some drinks and sell some stuff to earn his drinks. And we bought him that. So I'm not the first not so happy jester in this costume.
What cracks me up is your expression on it. Like,
my gosh,
you look so unhappy.
That might have been on purpose.
I do not want to be wearing this.
It was fun. The little bells were ringing, and I just called it the depressed jester, as a very good medieval picture has. Like every good movie with a jester in it has him very depressed. Fun.
the one who's being like threatened with his life to dance and joke for the king. Is someone holding you at gunpoint?
My kids are pointing at me.
Put the costume on. Put it on.
Be fun, Dad. Now.
Well, that's fun.
But I was fun to everyone I met on the streets, like jumping around, ringing my bells. It was nice.
The hat portion for those just listening, it's got like a long like tendril, 2-piece of tendril, like the jester has, and on the end of each there's bells, so he could probably wiggle his head and be very festive.
It had 20 more.
Oh, all over the costume too?
On the edge, where my behind is.
So everybody heard you coming and going, right?
I was going to say, stealth score is a 1.
Yeah. Well, very cool outfit. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you for showing that. Makes it even more fun.
Yeah. Well, every year I like to, so we decorate the front of our house a little bit. We put up little ghosts and skeletons and some spider webs and spiders and a few things. And then usually the day of Halloween, I bring out all my lights. I don't like them to be out, too long because I don't want them to get stolen or, broken if it's windy or rainy or something. But I have a whole bunch of black lights that I put out. And then a whole bunch of like disco lights, like they spin and they blink and they go in through lenses. And I shine them at the street from the front of my house. So it calls people's attention. Because in my neighborhood, it's only about 1 out of every 4 or 5 houses hand out candy. So I really want to know that my house is handing out candy, so I actually shine lights out at them, and then, I've got a smoke machine that my garage door is at a 90-degree angle to my front door, so I have smoke coming out of my garage in front of my front door, and I just run the smoke machine all night. So like, it looks like my house is on fire because there's just smoke lifting from it. Yeah. But the lights shining through it look really cool. And I'm glad Halloween was yesterday and not today, right, morning? Because we have a big storm today.
Yeah.
Everything's soaking wet.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll rain tonight, but 1 year, long time ago, it rained really hard on Halloween night and people were slipping and falling on the street in my driveway. I'm like, no, don't run. Kids are like, candy. Well, bam.
No. Yeah, I remember that. I was working at a haunted house that year and people still waited in line for hours, but we had like little pavilion pop-ups to keep people out of the rain. Oh man, I remember that.
Yeah. So we handed out candy last night, so that was fun. And I on Saturday I went to a Halloween party and I wore this outfit here. Let me bring it up real quick. And of course I used I took a picture in my backyard. And then I used Photoshop to create this really cool looking image of me in a forest. But
this was so cool.
Here's my Halloween outfit right there. Full Viking costume.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Getting the color correction right on myself so it matches the forest and everything is a little tricky in Photoshop, but
there we have the head reveal. Sorry to interrupt, but finally it happened. For the people seeing this, finally it happened. Jiroc took off his head.
But still no eyes. Still no eyes.
Still no eyes. Yeah.
At this point, it feels like a burlesque show. Like, we're taking off the hat. At some point, you'll see the eye.
One piece at a time.
Oh, man.
It's actually you can leave your head on, right?
Wow, Bambi.
Oh, come on, you don't like the bald head look? But yeah, I did on that picture. So I'm wearing my full Viking costume. Most of those pieces, or a lot of those pieces, are purchased from my sponsor, the Grimfrost. You can go there, get your own stuff. But I did black out the eyes on this in Photoshop. I had some black makeup on to make me look more savage, but I blacked out the eyes because, Bambi, it can't reveal my eyes just yet.
Oh my gosh.
Or what they already have seen them.
Mm-hmm. So Jiroc, I funnily enough, and I don't know which started it, right? But I saw on my Facebook feed an ad for Grimfrost, which had the same background and also a Viking standing in a similar position with the eyes blacked out, but it wasn't you. And I was like, wait, what? Did Jiroc copy the ad, or did Grimfrost copy Jiroc? What's happening? Or did they is it someone from Grimfrost ad team that made the Photoshop of your image for promotional stuff? Like what's the backstory?
Amazing.
Well, yeah. So to be honest, I actually saw their photo because they emailed me all their stuff, and I said,
"Yeah,
I'm going to use that photo to promote their 20% off sale, which ended yesterday. So you missed out if you wanted. They 20%. I've never seen them have 20% off. Usually it's like 5 or 10%, but they did 20% off. I ordered a bunch of new stuff, but I saw that ad and I said, well, I already have this picture over here. What do I do with it? I don't want to use their picture. I could have used their picture, but I said, I want to use my own picture. I've got a picture of me. So I kind of recreated their ad, but with me in it. I don't know if
That was cool, though. I did, when I saw that, because I had seen your picture first, and then the ad popped up on my feed, and I did go on the Grimfrost Facebook page to see if they had posted your picture as well. I was like, I want to see if it's all part of the same kind of ad campaign, and if yours also being, used for their ads. But yeah,
fantastic,
very good recreation.
Oh, thank you. Here, I can show you their picture. Maybe. Oh, yep, here it is. So this is the picture Gwen's talking about.
Nice.
So that's
fantastic.
Yeah, they did a pretty good picture too. Yeah, and he has hair, Bambi. So there you go.
That's how I knew it wasn't you.
Wow.
And then
could have been a wig. Maybe it is Jiroc in disguise. We don't know.
Oh.
And then the really cool ones right here. But there's
I actually prefer yours. I like the blue blue background that's matching the tunic.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, looks really mean. Not like you're in real life, of course. Just an enactment, I hope.
Yeah, so cool. That was Halloween, and then it sounds like everybody had some fun over Halloween, whether it was out doing Halloween stuff or just playing some Valheim, right, Carnivore?
Indeed.
And I just want to take a quick break from the show to share with you one of my sponsors, the Grimfrost, an amazing company that sells really, really cool Viking products. They have over 1,000 different modern and historical Viking products. If you're interested, you should check them out. I have a link in the description, or you can go to my website, jiroctheviking.com/Grimfrost. Now back to the show.
So, the 10K, let's see, 10K celebration shirts. Those of you who are lucky enough to get them, good for you. Thank you. You get to celebrate with us with your shirt. Those are coming off the store today. As soon as I get done with this podcast, I'm pulling them down. But there's still lots of other cool designs on the website if you're interested. You go check out the other merch. And there is a shirt with this design that says Jiroc the Viking, not the 10K. You'll have to wait for the 100K, or maybe a 50K would be appropriate to celebrate. I don't know. We'll see when we do another design. Let's see. People have suggested that I do a design for the Great Folding, because the Great Folding has become a really significant event on our servers. So I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think that a Great Folding design would be interesting, or have any ideas for what it should look like?
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, you could have it Valheim Taco World.
Oh,
Valheim Taco World.
Yeah, we're like, you have the world being folded in half with the bosses coming out of the middle, like the horns of Aether, and yeah.
Ooh, nice.
I'm gonna have to find a really good illustrator to help me with that. Jules, you have a question?
Please do the ignorant a favor and explain what the Great Folding is.
Yeah, so my permanent vanilla server, which has been up for more than a year now, has a companion server called the Resource Server, and players can jump back and forth between the two. So every 2 weeks it resets a new world, a new seed. So they have new play areas to explore and new resources to gather. So because we have so many people coming through our server, that the main server would just be completely depleted if we didn't have a resource server. And since it's vanilla, we don't respawn resources or anything like that. And so the resource server, every 2 weeks, we shut it down and we bring up a new one. And so since it's a flat world, we call that the Great Folding when we shut down the old world. And the players, when it opens up the new one, we call it the Great Unfolding. And every 2 weeks, the players tear down the old hotel and build a brand new hotel. And that hotel they build is for all the players who come over, so they have a place to save a bed to, and set up a portal and some storage. Of course you can build your own temporary base there, but it's like this fun event that's become this tradition on the servers. Just every 2 weeks, a whole bunch of people get together, tear down the old hotel, build a new one. And then the Great Folding happens. The Great Taco Folding happens. And the flat world of Valheim folds in and shuts down. And then the new one unfolds for the player. So, yep, it's just a phrase that got thrown out a long time ago. And now it's become a regular tradition every 2 weeks on the servers.
Yeah, sounds like a fun tradition.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking, because I just kind of assume people know what I'm talking about. We have mentioned it before, but new listeners might not be familiar with it.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably have some kind of a holiday design coming up. I had a design up for the Halloween. I had one.
Yes, you did.
And I'll probably have a holiday design if people are interested in a holiday design merch t-shirt. But if there are any illustrators out there, please contact me, jiroctheviking@gmail.com, because I do have a friend who's a comic book artist, but if he's unavailable, I'm definitely could use other artists to help me design stuff. So yeah, contact me and we can talk about that. I would like to do a Great Folding design, and I can't just pull art off of a stock website to put together something like that. It needs to be very specifically designed. Yeah. So, and then, so here's a big announcement. We just finished our graveyard build competition. I did a video, a streaming video on it. I believe Gwen and Morning Darkness were streaming as well. Mm-hmm. And that was great. We had so many amazing builds last week. Coming up this month, we have a ship building competition. So, you just piece together all the building pieces to try to create some ship. And then, and we've been doing build competitions on our server every month. Do you guys, what has been your favorite build competition up to now? Morning Darkness. Can you think of one? Does it involve trees?
Yes, but I have to say, I think my favorite one was actually the chessboard competition. I had a lot of fun with that. It was very straightforward. It was very mathematical for me to put together, and I really enjoyed that.
Oh, nice.
I still need to connect that to the Stargate hub that we have. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Just if I can have a quick, I found by accident, it wasn't in the tour, the Stargate build. And wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I just stumbled upon it being lost in the Portalia. And yeah, wow. Great job, guys.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Stargate build itself?
Yeah, the Stargate hub or whatever you call it.
Yeah, we have a Stargate hub where we have basically you can dial into these 3 Stargate portals that we created to visit various builds throughout our server because there's so many builds. So instead of setting up hundreds of portals to try to visit everyone, we have a room with a bunch of signs and you can get the portal code off of that, dial into one of the 3 portals and then go visit it. So yeah, it's a fun spot there. And
brilliant idea.
One of the ones that helped get that made. Thank you, Bambi.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no problem. It was very fun to do.
Yeah. And what about you, Gwen? Do you have a favorite build competition that you've been involved in?
So many. I think I really enjoyed the obviously the Star Wars build one because it was cool to see what everyone did, and some of the builds were mind blowing. But maybe some of the more decorative ones. But I did like the tiny house build competition. I'd like to see what interesting ideas people came up with. What was the one where Bambi you had that the giant house?
That was the tiny house.
That was the tree house.
That was the tree house. That's right.
Yeah, that one was cool. Was it also the one where there was like a whole Ewok village that Kung Ragnar had built?
That was also the tree house.
Okay, yeah. I think that one is the one where there was the most builds that I really enjoyed.
Cool. What about you, Bambi? You've participated in some of these build competitions. Which one has been your favorite so far?
Well, especially, of course, the chandelier competition.
Because you won first? Is that why you like that?
I won it, yeah. But I always thought I wasn't a builder, so I just came up with the chandelier. I thought, oh, that looks nice. And I won. I had to look at the stream for like 3 times. I was like, what? So, and definitely the haunted of the graveyard build. Yeah, it was amazing to build that haunted place. And it's too bad that a mod got broken quite soon after that, because Gwen wanted to make a whole video of the build. But yeah, it had the item stands all items mod, and that got broke for a bit. But I believe it's back on now. Not sure, but who knows?
I think all of your A's mods are working now.
Yeah, so who knows? There's going to be a video of that in the future, because yeah, I had a lot of fun thinking creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing build for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Carnivore, have you participated in any of the build competitions so far? And of the ones you've either participated in or just have seen the streams on, maybe even before you joined our servers, do you have a favorite build competition?
I haven't personally participated in any of them yet, but I mean, the ones that I've witnessed, I mean, what can I say that anybody else hasn't? The tiny house is amazing. Tree house, was amazing. But I would have to say, out of all of them, I'd say that this Halloween build, the graveyard, was really it was innovative. Looking at how people use things and resize them and mash them together to create things like skeletons, for instance, and these rotting corpses. I mean, it was very thematic, and it really kind of just jumped off the screen at you.
Mm. Yeah, well, my favorite, of course, as Gwen mentioned earlier, is the Star Wars build. But I have, they're all amazing. I'm blown away every time. Like, I even think back to, last year's Halloween build, that Halloween event that you built, Gwen, with Thorin, that wasn't part of a build competition, was it?
No, that was before we did build competitions, really, because I think the first ever build competition we did was the holiday build competition last Christmas, I believe. So that was just we wanted to do something fun for the community. We wanted to do something holiday based, and we came up with that trail.
Well, since you talk about holiday competition, last year we didn't assign a theme. We just said build whatever you want for the holidays, and we'll come and judge it. And some people built little displays, which were amazing, and some people built entire Santa's villages, didn't you, Gwen?
Oh, yeah.
And
I don't know what you're talking about.
Entire Santa's villages.
Is that the Santa village?
It's Yuletown, yeah. In fairness, it was me, Thorin, and Gluco. We teamed up because I was like, I'm not a good builder. Thorin is an amazing builder. Gluco is also a really good builder. So I did all the most of the decorations, and they did and the kind of some of the city planning, and they did the a lot of the building. And the result was amazing. We basically had a whole village, which, by the way, I want to revive and extend for this year. I want to keep adding more buildings each year, and keep inviting more Vikings to join in, so that we basically end up having like a whole mountain full of builds.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody's listening and you're thinking about joining a multiplayer server, you've got all these cool people to meet, but if you're antisocial and you don't want to hang out with them, just join, just to go visit all these amazing builds. You'll spend weeks and weeks going through them all. And the Yule village that they built last year, it's huge. It's amazing. All the builds from all the build competitions are amazing. So, but this year I'm going to announce that the December holiday build competition, I wanted to have a little more focus. So instead of just saying build whatever you want, I wanted to have a little focus. So the theme for this year's holiday build competition is a house for Santa to visit. And this house for Santa to visit, it should be a proper living space. When I go in, I should feel like this is a proper living space with a minimum rested bonus of 15. That's, so when Santa comes, he feels comfortable. It should have some... What's that, Bambi?
He has to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Can it be a spooky house?
Well, I'll leave that to you. It could be the Nightmare Before Christmas, but and it has to have a chimney for Santa / me to fit down, my character. So I'm going to try to go down the chimney to get into the house to your Christmas tree, which is also a holiday tree, however you want to call it, a holiday tree for him to visit, put presents. But with your chimney, you can be creative. It could be more than just a chimney. And that's all I'll say. I don't want to give too many hints out there as to different ideas that I have for a chimney, but a chimney for Santa to enter the house. It has to have a holiday tree. It has to have a presence. Maybe a stocking, if there's some way to make a stocking, or other things to decorate, but it should look as though Santa has visited your house, right? So like when I come in, I say, "Oh, Santa's already been here." So there'll be should be presents there. Leave a snack for Santa. He could have started eating it, or maybe he hasn't touched it yet. We'll see. Or if it's like the Nightmare Before Christmas, maybe it's something disgusting and he didn't touch it.
And my mind is going crazy over here. Why do you do
Oh my
this to
gosh.
me?
Cogs are turning.
Yeah.
So many ideas.
Yeah, so there you go. That's it. It's a house for Santa to visit, and wherever I come into the big living space, when I come out of the chimney, it should look like Santa has already been there. I'm coming after Santa. I'm going to jump through the chimney the way he went, so he's already been there. You've done all the stuff for Santa to visit. I'd love to see what you guys come up with, and Valheim's perfect for that because it's it gives you all these cool building pieces to build houses. So let's see a fun holiday house for Santa to visit and leave presents. And if anybody has any ideas for this competition, go ahead and throw them at me and think about adding them. And I'll be posting this on our server here soon in our announcement.
I have a little idea.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, we could do a little Santa model for the competition. So you can actually visit in game as Santa.
Oh, that would
like
be
a big
awesome.
belly guy.
Do you know any
coat.
modders who could put that together for me, Jules?
Yeah, I guess there's some on your server. I heard about them.
Yeah, well, definitely get in touch with them, Jules, and let me know when they put something together.
Yeah, I can try to call some. Make the connections to you. Let's see.
Awesome. Also, I have an announcement. So Podheim, this very podcast that you're listening to, it's available on lots of different formats, YouTube, especially for the video portion, but it's now available on Amazon Music. So if you are a subscriber, or even if not, I think like a lot of the podcasts are free on there. You prefer to listen with Amazon Music. The good thing about that is if you have I can't say it too loud because she's in my room and she'll start talking to me.
Always listening, always watching.
If you could tell her to play Podheim for you, and she will.
Or the other one. Oh no, that's not Amazon. No, sorry.
Oh yeah, we are on iTunes, so you could tell Siri. You could say Siri all you want. I would never have Siri in my house, but those of you who like Siri,
Google. Name them all, Jiroc. Name them all, or you're gonna have trouble.
Or there's the GOOGLE. I can't say that because then my phone will go crazy.
No.
Yeah, we're on there too. So yeah, so finally we're on Amazon there. And also, while
you're saying that, what we would appreciate as regular Podheimers is if you could leave a review or rate our podcast wherever you're listening it on. So whatever app you're using, there is always a way to rate podcasts or leave reviews and so on. That would go a long way to make sure that more people can hear our podcast.
Yeah.
If it's a good review.
Well, I can't. Sure.
Shouldn't it be good?
Well,
surely if they're listening to this like 43 episodes in, they probably have good things to say. Otherwise, they wouldn't be listening. I hope.
I hate it, but I can't stop listening to it.
Oh, well, it's engagement in the end, I guess.
So the other announcement that I had was that my new modded server, it's called Jotun Quest. If you're interested in that, we add tons of new content. It's probably a bigger update if you look at it, like more content added than even Mistlands will add to the game because we've added so many different mods. But let's see. So
you have to see it.
Here's battle metrics, and specifically it's Valheim, and I have it sorting by my servers because I have a bunch of servers. But there are like 27,000 Valheim servers, and look at this. Jotun Quest is number 3.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how much activity it's been getting. Right now, there's only looks like there's only 12 players on, but we've had almost 12. Yeah, we've had up to about 25, 30 players on it max, and it's been occupied like 24/7 ever since launch. So yeah, if you're interested in something like that, you can see our playground and our poor resource server, our playground is usually in the top 10, and sometimes our resource server is up there too when we run events over there, but they've fallen because everybody's on Jotun Quest. It's the shiny new thing, right?
So there's always room to grow.
Yes, there's always room to grow. I won't show you which other two are top 1 and 2, but you can come to Battlemetrics and take a look if you're interested. But yeah, we're number 3 now, and yes, we can still grow. So come join us and help us get to number 2 and then number 1 eventually. That'd be great. And then, so for Mistlands prep, you guys excited for Mistlands?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So for Mistlands prep, I'm going to be launching a PTB, a public test branch. So they're going to be releasing it to the public test branch first so that people can test it and work out any bugs and report any bugs. So what I want to do is I want to launch a public test branch Mistlands server, and I might try an experiment here. Gwen might try to talk me out of it because how much work it might be whitelisting people, but I want to open it up to the public.
Oh,
for anybody to come.
Idea.
Yeah. What do you think? It's a good idea? Morning.
I mean, so it helps bring in as many people as possible to do the play testing, that sort of thing. It gives people a safe and easy space where they can go in, if they're really nervous about doing it on their own computer or with their own game, whatever. I think that's a really great idea. Also, it really increases visibility. And yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to Gwen later. She's probably shaking her head.
No whitelists. If you make it a public one with maybe just a password that people can have to find on your Discord, like maybe the thing is, if you want to join, go on the Discord, go to the relevant channel, and there will be the IP address and password. Because, there's no way we're whitelisting people every hour for it.
Well, yeah, if it gets really busy with the whitelist, we'll have to do like once a day whitelisting or something. I don't know if there's a way to bypass whitelisting. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a mod.
Yeah, you can make public public ones, just password protected public. Public dedicated servers. A lot of dedicated servers are like that. So anyone can join them as long as they've got the IP address and.
We'll have to look into
if it's password protected.
Because currently I don't know about an option for that on gPortal. So.
Yeah, it's how I have my NoMap server set up on gPortal.
On gPortal?
Yeah, with your code.
Well, then you can share things. Yeah, you'll have to show me later. I'll have to ask you how you set it up so there's no whitelist.
Yeah. The Padawan is teaching the Jedi Master. Interesting.
Yeah, I just haven't looked into it yet, so I don't know how. So if somebody's already figured it out, please, throw that knowledge at me. But yeah, and then we'll have a new permanent Mistlands vanilla server that you'll be able to hop in between my main legacy server, the Viking Playground, and then our resource server, and you can experience the great folding and the unfolding every 2 weeks too, and do all that. Should be fun.
Awesome.
And Valheim news, we had a new patch. We had a lot of server sync issues. All this last week, I along with two of my admins, Kondo and Vaste, were troubleshooting server sync issues, players not able to log on, creating tons of issues. Jules, you want to tell us, as a modder, you're looking at the code for that. Can you tell us some of the problems you've noticed?
Okay, I prepared an introduction for that. You wrote that. Thanks. So I just ignore that and say, as some of you might have experienced, there was some trouble. And it started with the first crossplay update, of course. So there was slight hiccups, and now the latest patch they did, they obviously had to go to the networking code for the crossplay update, because it's another backend system, not Steamworks, which is the networking from Steam, obviously. And crossplay is the thing Microsoft uses for Xbox and Microsoft store games. You can have Valheim or Microsoft Store, and that uses that networking background thing too. So, with the first patch, we had a bit of luck. They didn't change any Steamwork stuff. So yeah, you could just disable crossplay on the server and everything was good to go. But now they also changed some Steamwork code, just a little bit. But it did break any server sync mod and Jotun also, because what Jotun and server sync does is synchronize configs to the clients, and they enforce clients configs on the clients. So what we technically do is when the client wants to get to the server, it says, hello, I'm there. And the server says, hi, you want to join? Fine. And then there is a package sent with peer info, it's called. So it's giving you the seat and stuff, and you giving the numbers of a player and where you last have been and stuff. So what server sync and Jotun config sync does is keep that package on the server, right? Because we want to first sync the configs to the clients before they start to load in the game, so that the mods can have their configs from the server before they apply it. So if you don't hold up that package, your game might have been starting too early, right? Depending on where the location of the server is. So yeah, that's what we do in Jotun and server sync. Now that broke because they wanted to improve performance, I guess. And they started to compress packages into smaller packages to be transferred faster on the internet. But that was triggered on the server by sending the peer info package to the client, which then triggers the client to load the game and also receive compressed packages. So because we kept that package on the server, it started to compress all the packages before they actually send it. So yeah, it got messed up. And the problem is why this is such a mess right now is that Jotun and server sync mods have different philosophies about it. Yeah, Jotun is a mod publicly available on Thunderstore. Any other mod user mod dev can use it and tell other people to download Jotun and download my mod, and then it works. So we just had to fix Jotun, and any mod is fine using it, but the server sync devs tell people to incorporate the server sync into their own mod. So it is copied to every mod using server sync. Yeah, you're nodding your head. You know where I'm going to. It's so now every mod who has copied the code of server sync had to wait until the server sync dev fixed it, and then also copy it again to their own mod to have their mod fixed. And this is why this is such a mess with a lot of mods. Mainly on the Odin Plus guys use it very often, the server sync, and now we have to wait for every single mod to update.
Yeah,
which is not ideal in my personal opinion.
I think this last week is one of those weeks where I spent, back in the day when I was, whenever I'm launching a new server, those weeks are usually hellish because I'm online, I'm working on something for the server for about 12 hours a day. This last week, I was between 12 and 15 hours a day, every single day, weekends included, working on trying to fix, because I have so many different servers, and some of them are modded, and the main server, new server, the Jotun Quest, had so many mods that troubleshooting, right, Bambi?
Oh gosh, yeah, and you only troubleshooted me for a short amount of time because I didn't want to bother you, Vaste and Kondo. You guys were so busy. You are rock stars.
Yeah, Bambi was. It's so funny, Jules. About half the people on my server were logging in, no problem, and then half of them, the other half, they couldn't connect to the server. So we had to go one by one, every single mod, boot the server, disable one mod, boot the server. Takes forever to boot because we have so many mods. Then the player tried to log in, can't log in, shut the server down, remove another mod, boot the server up, and repeat that for hours and hours and hours.
I see. That's unfortunately how it is with that type of technical decision they made.
And then Bambi came along.
Yeah, then there's the thing of the mod packages and the mod managers. Maybe there was confusion too, what mod package to load, what to update, what not to do.
Yeah.
It would be nice if there was some kind of communication with Iron Gate and the modded community behind the scenes, just to coordinate what's coming down the line.
We actually do.
Maybe even asking questions so that maybe some of the modders could suggest an alternate route towards what they're doing, and maybe a slight tweak to what they're doing would be better for the community. I don't know. Do you have any suggestions for that, Jules?
There actually is. I'm in a group chat with some of the developers and some other guys. But another problem with the latest patch, which did break a lot of stuff, was that it was really short notice. I don't know. It was 3 days in the public test branch.
Yep.
So yeah, we did a hot fix on Jotun actually, which wasn't very ideal because we just disabled compression completely on the playfab. So it just didn't break, but people could log in. In theory there is, but we don't have this much to say. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
We can suggest things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can only suggest things because they have the route that they want to go, and they take it into consideration. Not to get too technical, and I want to spend too much more time on this because we have a lot of other stuff to talk about, but it seems to me as a non-coder that compressing is a bad idea, because the internet's only getting faster and broader every year. It's getting out there more and more. People have super fast connections these days. I know still some parts of the world don't have as fast of connections, but seems just like compressing something to send it across is maybe not planning for the future. I don't know. But
yeah, seeing what Outbreak it did and what Carnage it did, maybe they could have considered it.
Yeah,
I'm still not sure if it's a good technical measure, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's good for Xboxes.
Yeah.
And, of course,
they have their reasons.
It's very technical and back-end stuff. So yeah, it's hard to get ideas from or suggestions from others there, because it's technical stuff. Normally, others won't dive too much into that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so I want to talk quickly about another update they came out with, or sort of like a sneak peek preview, and I did a whole video on it. If you're interested, it's the thumbnail says "Keeping It Real," and it's all about the new Michelins fish, and they showed 3 new fish models. Did you see those, Morning?
Yes, I'm very excited. I actually was 100% quoting you on my stream. And I think that the middle fish that you were talking about might be the new flying fish.
Oh. Yeah, they did mention that fish were going to start jumping out of the water because they have a little clip of the old fish jumping. But if there's one that actually flies, like is for some distance, that would be cool.
Good night.
I actually spent quite a lot of time on Google just kind of looking at different fish to see if I could match one up for 1-to-1. And for me, after I watched the last Podheim, and to me, it kind of looks like a gray mahi-mahi. So I wonder if maybe it's like an ocean biome specific fish.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And I wonder if there are going to be more. So far, that's 3 new ones, which that's a good amount to add. But I'm just curious if there are even more. And you guys are you decorators out there, probably, Bambi Morning and Gwen especially are already thinking about fish decorations. What about an aquarium build competition?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to see some makeshift, sort of put together some kind of an aquarium decorate thing with fish. That would be awesome.
Release the Kraken, Glenn. Wiggle, wiggle.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, I did a graveyard build competition stream. Gwen and Morning Darkness have one too. So it's fun. It's on there. And the Mistlands Fish. And I have a little video that just talks about the new patch that we kind of talked about, where they also introduced the Jacko Turnip just a few days before Halloween.
Oh.
So people couldn't include it in the Halloween builds, unfortunately. Bambi, what do you have? Put those Jacko turnips all over the place if they were available for the build competition?
No, I don't think Hel would do with Jacko turnips because it was Hel, her house. So no. But at my own place, yeah, I love them.
Yeah. If anyone goes to the Hotel Nuomi, I may or may not have had a hand. If you see Jacko turnips, just think of Morning Darkness.
It's just all over the place now, lighting it up, huh?
All over the place.
Just a bit. You kept yourself.
The word abrasive comes to mind.
But they're so much fun. Yeah.
Well, I guess with Iron Gate's philosophy there, we celebrate Halloween after Halloween because now we have them and Halloween's done with.
Jacko turnips are great for November too.
Oh, sure. Well, what about you, Morning Darkness? What videos have you been getting up this last week?
Oh gosh, fair few. I like you said, I did the recording of the graveyard competition, and we did no map again right after that, just a couple hours later, and we found Yagluth.
Yay! Congratulations!
Congrats.
So I'm sailing along, and it was misty and some other stuff, and I was in the middle of a conversation, and someone else on the ship is like, land ahead, you might want to turn. Do a hard turn, and we've hit the deep north. And I'm like, oh, I've gone too far. I'll just go west. So I go southwest, and we're just talking, and I'm going forward. Yagluth fingers. And I kind of squealed a little bit. I was like, it's ridiculous.
How long have you been
doing something wrong? Sorry.
What was that, Gwen?
How long have you been searching?
5 or 6 streams.
Oh yeah, like us then. It's fine, Jules. Yeah, our time will come.
We have some time. Next stream. It's in there. Maybe Morning will join because I got the impression every time Morning is involved, they find some mobs and bosses and everything.
Or something. And then I've been helping another streamer with a spooky build because he was entering it in a competition. He got second place, so that was good.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, Azarella Gaming. And then last night, a lot of people have been streaming spooky games and all of these other things. So last night I was dressed up in my costume, which Jiroc has a picture of.
Oh yeah, I'll try to pull that up while you're talking.
And I played the last half of Strange Horticulture, which I don't know if you guys remember, but it was the game where you solve a murder mystery with magical plants. And it's this very cozy game for, being what it is. And so I figured it'd be a nice respite for some people who got a little too spooked out from Halloween to have just sort of a cozy, spooky game. And then I finished out this week last night with the second half, or the second half was my rogue run, which is if I die, I keep the character, but I start new everything, new seed, ditch all my gear, go into a new world naked and afraid with nothing but my skills.
Nice. And here's that picture of you we've seen this look before with the cool blue wig and the is this like
nothing new?
A jacket or like a dress or
a dress?
Oh, it's a full dress. Yeah. Okay.
A full dress with a hood. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And
amazing.
what is this here?
Oh, that's my pumpkin. I haven't had a chance to carve a pumpkin in ages. And so since we went to the pumpkin patch the weekend before, I made my little pumpkin. Some of the teeth fell out because my kid was having a lot of fun playing with the LED candle inside. So he reached in and knocked some of the pumpkin seed teeth out.
Yeah, I haven't seen somebody use the pumpkin seeds as teeth. That's and I would have thought I would have seen that. I've never seen that before. That's an awesome idea.
Thanks.
And you did talk about a little costume from your little one.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, look at that. So cute.
There's your gear shift ball, Gwen.
Oh, very cool. Looks like a doggy got in this picture too.
Oh, yes.
Little doggy tail.
My giant dog.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Let's see. What about you, Gwen? You got you did some video, at least one video, if not more, of this last week, didn't you?
Yeah, so I did as you said, I streamed the Graveyard Build competition. I did a bunch of streams, building streams. First time I do building streams of building the house from Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson Sisters cottage.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I did a couple of those streams, all in the spooky Halloween theme, right? Leading up to Halloween. And I also did a video, which will be first of hopefully many, that I've been wanting to do for a while. We have so many amazing builders and amazing builds on the server, and too many for Jiroc alone to visit and showcase on his channel. So I thought, you know what, there's some builds that I really like, that inspire me, and I want to do something a little bit special with. And there's a lot of role playing also on the server, and some of the builds tie in really well with the role playing, with either the kind of lore built around a clan or around the person who's built them. And I want to showcase that in a kind of creative way, I guess. And also, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. Try out different things. I'm kind of using content creation on YouTube as a bit of a creative outlet. I'm just really experimenting stuff. I'm not really a video editor. I'm not like someone like Jiroc who's done it for many, many years. I'm just playing around with it and kind of learning through it. So I thought, you know what, I want to do something slightly different. And I took one of Bane's builds. So Bane, who was our podcast guest from last week. And Bane, as you heard, has an amazing voice and amazing character. He's kind of playing this vampire-esque, Count Dracula type character. And all his builds are very spooky. And I thought for Halloween, it's great. I'm going to take one of his builds and do a video about it, just showcasing the build and with a voiceover over it. And I found... so I picked the Baba Yaga build, which he submitted as a tiny house build competition entry, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I love that build because it's super creative. The use of the item stands mods to recreate the Baba Yaga house on chicken legs and so on. It's just really a really cool build. Good. And the story behind Baba Yaga, for those who don't know, Baba Yaga is one of those folk stories from Eastern Europe of this witch who terrifies children and eats them. And she lives in a house, in a hut in the forest that is on two chicken legs. And that's exactly what Bane created with his tiny house. And so I researched a little bit Baba Yaga. I was like, I want to try to find the story and maybe I can read out the story while showing the build. And then I found this poem that perfectly describes the Baba Yaga hut. So I worked with Bane on a few tiny details that we added to his build just so that it would match perfectly with the poem. And then I've basically filmed different angles of the house, in the interior as well, because he's done an amazing job decorating it, and did a voiceover of me reading the poem. And yeah, the result is a about 2-minute video, really short, and showcasing Bane's amazing build. And yeah, it was a fun little project for me to try out. And I hope to do more. And as Bambi said, her build is next, but I need I need a bit of help with the story behind it.
Did you do a long form video of the Baba Yaga or just the short? Because I saw the short.
I did. So there's the video that is 2 minutes, and then I did take a clip from it and posted it as a short. So yeah, but the full video of the full poem is still pretty short. It's like a minute and 40 seconds, something like that.
It's beautifully done too. It's really, really wonderful.
Okay.
And you have Gwen has a beautiful voiceover. It's
Thank you.
See, Gwen, I keep telling you, she says she doesn't like hearing herself recorded.
Yeah, I'm used to it now. And now I'm like indifferent to my own voice. But like before this whole YouTubing, streaming, podcasting thing, I couldn't stand, like most people, I couldn't stand hearing my own voice. And now I'm just, now the funny thing is, now when we leave the house, weird kind of tangent, but I'm so used to it that I don't even cringe when my partner decided to use my streams as like background stuff on TV for the dog when we leave the house. Because, for dogs, when they have separation anxiety, sometimes it's good to put the radio on or put the TV on so that they don't feel like alone in an empty house. And he had the great idea to put my 5-hour streams on because he's like, well, it's your voice, so maybe he'll feel a bit less stressed about being alone. So I used to cringe whenever anyone would put a video on where I'm talking, but now I'm kind of immune to it.
Yeah, that's been my experience as a filmmaker over the years. Nobody likes to hear their voice. A lot of even like big Hollywood actors, they don't even like to watch their own movies, no matter how good their movies are. They don't even like to watch them because they don't like to hear themselves, and they don't like to see themselves performing because they nitpick their performance, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but with the voice thing, you have to get used to it, because if you're editing your own videos or your own like podcast or whatever, you have to listen to the same clip so many times that it's like you don't have the choice. You will get used to your voice. It's just, that's how it is.
So that reminds me, Gwen, Jiroc is too busy, but I know you're busy too. So when things quiet down for you, I would love for you to teach me some of the things that you've been learning, because I did take 2 videos this week that I want to take a hand at editing. One of them stars Carnivore, actually.
Oh,
Carnivore,
no.
do you want to tell us what happened?
Oh no.
It was a pretty interesting story. Well, it's not really a story, but just a circumstance. We were at the end of setting up the Hotel Nuomi in the resource server, and we were trying to figure out this problem we were having with our chandeliers, or our sconces. What is it called? Braziers. That's it. And we were having a problem with them going out during the heavy storms with all the wind and things like that. And so we were waiting for another windstorm to come in to kind of test the issue. And I said, well, while I'm waiting here, I might as well do some fishing. And it turned out, while I was doing some fishing, I don't know if it was a server bug or what was going on, but the tuna specifically were having a problem, actually getting reeled in. And what would happen is, as soon as you started reeling them in, we would get what we called the tuna tornado, or the fish tornado. And it would just start spinning all rapidly around as you're reeling it in.
Yeah. So for those of you watching the video, the tuna was doing this.
Yes, I've seen this before. I call it the fish helicopter.
Yes,
because sometimes it does this, and it just the fish just spins. It's like, woo, what's going on?
And it was only the tuna for some reason, because we tried it on a pike, and the pike was fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, very fun, very fun. So we have just one server announcement that Morning Darkness is going to do for us. You want to do that now, Morning?
Yeah, by the way, thanks, Gwen, for filling this out for me. It totally slipped my mind this week. So first, we would like to announce our new members to the server. This past week, we had Stonks, Ulf Leo, Bishop, and Inoki join us. So welcome, you guys. Great to have you.
Yeah, it's nice to see some new faces on the server, and if hopefully you guys are interested in coming on the podcast sometime. All the new members that have been joining us on our Discord server, we have a place where you can sign up to make an appearance on the podcast on a future date. So if you're interested, we'd love to meet you and talk to you and get to know you better. Come join us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. Things we'd like to see changed or added in Valheim. How about they add? I'm gonna mimic what everybody says on my YouTube channel. Why don't they add the Mistlands by now? Yeah, they're gonna change or add something. They should just add what they said they were gonna add. Why did it take so long? I paid my $20 and they sold so many copies. They took the money and ran.
That's actually a perfect recreation of like half the comments on every Valheim post from Iron Gate.
Oh.
Yeah, when I see those comments, that's what I say in my head. I do that voice to their comment. What's that, Bambi?
Oh, how long, Jiroc? 12, right?
36.
1 million. It'll come out in 1 million.
In 3 potatoes.
Comments. Yeah, how long? 12.
Yeah. No context, no units of measurement. They are just whatever number. Well, so things we'd like to see changed or added to Valheim. Let's start with Jules because he has something interesting.
Yeah, I'm the practical guy again and the technical guy again. I'm so sorry to bore the people.
Oh, hush.
But I got a little sneak peek from the little group I talked about earlier with the devs and some guys. And they will introduce, it's nothing you will see in vanilla game, but they will introduce some fields for players and items for modders to use.
Oh.
So they can store arbitrary data on the player profile or on any item, which is now made with workarounds and mods and patches, and maybe they're not comfortable. But I got it firsthand from JS Mars. They were at it with the next big update in like 1 May. Yeah.
Is it supposed to come with Mistlands? Do you know?
The next big update was the original text. So as you said, as we say in German, in läuft sich Zeit.
Well, that's great because I know I spent a lot of time asking Jiroc over the last year. I've been working with him on mods, or about 9 months or so now, and I always say, is this possible? And he says, well, no, because we don't have those things you're talking about, like these tags, that they can add to the players, like, because it's hard coded. It's not hard coded in. So if we did want to do something like that, it'd have to be a special mod to be both on client and the server. But does it sound like with those new tags that they're adding that maybe the client won't have to have the mod themselves for certain things?
Well, not particularly, but the good thing about this is that the game itself will save that data into the player profile or the world save or whatever. So that's the good thing, because if you need to, as a modder, if you need to save stuff separated from the world or separated from the game's saving mechanisms, it's always not that hard to do, but it has potential to break, right?
Yeah.
So now we get space on the game itself to save our own data. So that will be fine.
So
speaking of achievements, saved and player profiles.
Yeah, I definitely want to add an achievement system, and now that you can save stuff directly to the character's client, they can save it in their character file. Then we could probably do stuff like that. Now that sounds awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we wished and we got.
So
Nice.
something you'd like to see
Doesn't
changed or
okay.
added got added or is being added in the future. Nice. What about you, Morning Darkness? What would you like to see changed or added?
More optimized multiplayer.
Just in general, all the multiplayer stuff, right?
Well, okay. So specifically, I partook in the Great Fold. I was supposed to run the Great Folding, and Vashti saved me, and he stepped up and had something really fun. And so I was able to at least partake and be part of the battle, which is the first time I've done in a while. And it was actually just 3 of us this time because everyone's on the modded server.
Yeah.
But it was the whole issue that people say, I can't see things aren't loading. And
Legs falling.
yeah, and there were only 3 of us in the area, so it wasn't like a big old crowd. And so it was very interesting to see, who owned the area, how quickly things loaded, and, all of a sudden things appearing that weren't just GM summoned.
Right.
But you got the compression now in the code. I hope that was worth it.
So I would like it to be more optimized for multiplayer, just so that there's such. I know that we keep saying this. They did, they only set it up for 10 people on a server, but even when you only have 7 or 8 people on a server, things start to get tricky. Especially if you've got someone from Australia and someone from the US on at the same time, it gets interesting.
That's the thing. It's a client authoritative, as we call it in network technology. And yeah, if you guys are spread around the world, you can have internet as much as you want, but yeah, the packets just don't go through. So yeah. But that change is a big wish. Santa has to do many rounds for that.
I know, but you ask every week, so I got to come up with something.
Yeah. Well, we can reiterate those ones from week to week that are most important, most near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
What about you, Carnivore? If you could change or add something to Valheim, what would it be?
So if I had the magic wand, as you say, I love the cooking system in Valheim, but as we all know, it's a little bit restrictive. I think there's a lot of in-world things that we could use right now to kind of help it along and add more variety. So what I would love to see is, first off, tameable necks, I think would be cool, just as another livestock option. And I would like to see them give us a product like we have with, the boars. They give us meat and blah, blah, blah. And obviously the necks give their necktails. But also if we could get eggs from them, because they're reptilian, obviously they lay eggs. So I think that would be a nice, multi-use food stuff that we could use. And then also if we could get milk from the locks. I know they're sort of kind of reptilian feathery, but I mean, their young are called calves and they act like oxen, so I think we could kind of work that out, lore wise, where they could produce milk, and then we could have things like cheese and yogurt and all these different these 2 base items that we could use to branch off and have all these other recipes. I think would be really cool to have in the game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people love cooking, and with the Mistlands update, they're bringing a whole bunch of new food dishes that we've seen, and I'm sure there's going to be new animals and new things that we can maybe grow or maybe and get from the creatures. So we are going to see some new cooking stuff coming. But yeah, to go, and they actually even said that they're going to do some stuff for the pre-existing biomes. What they haven't really hinted at yet, so we don't even know what they're going to add. Maybe it is necks, tameable necks. Now that they have their fluffy plush neck in their studio that. At their workspace. They've even named it. Does anybody remember what they named it? I forget. I just saw a post about it and I can't remember now. But they named their plushy neck that you can buy off of Etsy. But yeah, so maybe they'll give necks some love and they can be tameable and maybe they'll lay eggs and have little babies or something. That would be cute. What about you, Bambi? What would you like to see changed or added?
Well, first of all, I would like to have the devs come and join the Jotun server so they can see all the cooking.
We have a lot of cooking mods over there too.
I love it. But most of all, I hope it's going to be in the Mistlands. It's the cape with the feathers. I know Gwen is betting on it, and me too. And we have something familiar like that on Jotun as well. It's the fall cape that will just give you maybe some wings or make you fall more smoothly for the builders. We need it. We've seen it now. We need it.
Fall and take a little less damage because your soft, fluffy cape to protect you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speculation that that's what that's going to be. Because it should have some kind of additional bonus, right, to it. We don't know what that is going to be, but maybe it's falling.
Bonus.
Climbing bonus. Nope.
Feathers falling. Yeah.
Gwen, change or add to Valheim. What would it be?
I thought of that because of the delay in getting our Jacko turnips. It would be quite cool to have, and I feel like maybe someone mentioned it before, but never mind, I'll say it again. It would be cool to have a way to purchase the holiday items from Haldor's, because you do have the Yule hat that you can purchase from Haldor's, but why not be able to purchase the presents and the Jacko turnip and any other seasonal items?
It's interesting that they turn off the building of the seasonal items, but you can buy a Santa hat year round from Haldor.
Yeah, exactly. Why not the others?
Yeah. And maybe some new items. Holiday items would be nice. Most interesting thing is most games I've ever played, even the ones in development, each holiday, they turn on the previous holidays things, but they almost always add a new holiday thing. And I have to admit, I'm a little let down that we didn't get a new Halloween thing. First off, a few days before, that, whatever, prompted that decision, but nothing new. And there's so many cool new things you could do. How about a buildable skeletal remains with all those bones that we keep piling up in chests?
Yes.
A hanging skeleton decoration or something. Like most games, they put out a new holiday item. Iron Gate, where's your new holiday item?
Or even now that they have the bats modeled, why not have something like using that bat model that they already have, like a bat trophy or something like that, a bat decoration?
A cobweb decoration.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they already have webs in the game that we can use as admins, but giving some kind of web thing for you to be able to put up for. But so Halloween is past. They missed that opportunity to add something new. But I know that all those Iron Gate folks listen to the podcast every week. Or maybe they don't.
So, I don't know. Thanksgiving is up, right? So stuffed turkey recipe, yes.
That you can display on the table, right? Like with the full turkey and everything.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool.
That'd be fun.
But
maybe they play to their dogs. Maybe you can make it. Can say that to them. Play it to your dogs. Maybe they will listen then when it plays in the background. Right?
If Gwen plays the stream over and over in the background to her dogs asking for it, then maybe they'll do it. But so with the holiday coming up and Gwen mentioning, purchasing holiday items from Haldor, what about stockings or other miscellaneous, holiday types things that we could potentially build? I mean, there's all kinds of different things, right, that you could add. But don't miss this opportunity to add a new holiday item. If I know you're busy with the Mistlands and then you'll probably go on vacation, but new holiday items would be fun. So That's not mine, but it's kind of turned into mine since Gwen mentioned holiday items. But I do have something to show that I would love, and it's probably been mentioned before. Yeah.
Oh.
That exists in the game. That's the stone portal over there. And
for ages, I might add. It's been there, I think, from the beginning, if I'm not wrong about that, but it's been there for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Looks
If
so
an
great.
admin spawns it in now, it's bugged, so there's a bunch of error code that you'll see scrolling in your console. In game, you don't really notice anything. You could just spawn it in as admin, and there it is. But there's all this code that just constantly spams the console. But look how beautiful that thing is. This was the first time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it lit up. So Jiroc went in, he found the line of code. He said it was just like 1 or 2 lines of code that he had to change to make it operational and fix that spam. And now it connects with even the wooden portals. And he showed me it light up, and I've even spawned it in game and admin now. But he has to make a special mod to make this work. But look at that. It's the first time I ever saw it working. And when I saw it blue and the sparkles even move in a different way, they kind of fly around randomly instead of being pulled in like the orange ones are.
Yeah.
What a great asset. And all they have to do is change like 2 lines of code to make it functional. I mean, that's what Jiroc said he did. He just changed 2 lines of code, and look at that beautiful thing that already exists that we could be using.
He wants it.
Please
It's our
make it
precious.
my precious portal. Make it welcome. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little show and tell. So sorry if you're just listening. You'll just have to listen to it, and maybe we'll try to describe it. Morning Darkness, do you have something to show and tell with us?
I do. I swear you keep doing this just so that I'll do this. So I'm finally doing this.
All right. Yes, finally.
Oh yes, the harp.
Oh, wow. You can play that?
Oh yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Not with a computer on my lap,
beautiful.
and not with it raining outside. I haven't had a chance to tune it, and it's off tune currently. But yeah, like even if I just do, it's out of tune. Oh god.
Oh, we can't hear it.
Oh, you couldn't hear it at all?
No.
Yeah, no, we didn't hear it.
First strike.
Oh, probably because Discord is blocking it out. Yeah.
Looks a bit small though. Our house normally like a full grown people size.
I have one of those too, but this is specifically a Celtic or it's a liver harp.
Wow.
So it even has like a kickstand to get it up high enough so that you can play it while sitting normally.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very cool. Well, let's see. So I have some pictures of some things here that other people want to share.
Ooh.
Well, let me pull up. So Carnivore, why don't you talk us through what this thing is right here?
Oh, nice.
Okay. So I'm actually a Norse pagan in real life. And what you're seeing here is actually a bone from a tomahawk steak that I cooked for my first sort of offering to my deities and my families.
Nice.
And I've just kind of scrawled some actual runes into it, as well as some symbolism there. For kind of, if you go left to right, we have the Tiwaz for Tyr, who is my principal deity. Then we have the Thurwas, I believe it's called, for Thor. After that, then we have a boat that I did for Njord. I actually did that after myself and 2 of my boys this summer. We almost drowned in a river. So that was something I kind of did as a sort of a nod to him. And then on the right there is some sort of fertility and bounty runes that I put there for Freya. And I have 5 kids, so I felt like that was pretty on brand.
That worked, yes.
And then Lastly, you'll see a chain wrapped around it, and that's actually a chain from a Mjolnir necklace that I was wearing while I was in that river. And when they actually pulled me out, the chain was still around my neck, but the Mjolnir that was attached to it was actually gone. It was lost to the river. So I thought it was very nice, and I would just kind of wrap it around as like, okay, this, I lost that, and it seems like that was sort of my payment, so to speak. But they let me keep the chain.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's a very cool item there. And what's on the end there? That sort of that black thing on the end.
So that's it's charcoal paint that I made. So that's what the runes are done in as well. Okay. I just kind of did it for decorative purpose. And I went through and I bleached and I cleaned the bone all myself and everything.
Wow.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
And is that a reindeer skin that it's on?
That's actually a rabbit skin.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Okay. So it's a much smaller. Okay, I imagined this much bigger.
Oh yeah. If you want to show one of the other pictures I sent you of the actual steak, Jiroc, that might give people some idea of the size of it. That's the size of my head. And there's my face reveal, I guess you could say. Hope it doesn't scare too many people.
I love it.
Yeah, that tomahawk is the size of my head.
Yeah.
And then this is the meal, I guess, here. Oh, and there's the fire in the background.
Yeah, so this was the actual offering that we made. We have some incense, some sage burning. We actually have glasses of mead there. And then a half of the steak, one of the things with, Norse paganism is you give half of your best goods is, kind of the rule of thumb. And so when we were making this offering, we gave half of the steak to our two principal gods that we were working with at the time, which was Thor and Tyr. And so we poured them each a glass of mead, and we, had two forks for the steak. And the idea is, they come, they take what they want, and they leave behind what, they don't. And the day after, you kind of leave it out overnight. And the day after I take, that stuff and put it out into nature, and nature does the rest with it. So the ashes, the steak, the meat, everything.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Wow.
Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing. It's interesting to see this kind of stuff going on in real life, not just in the game.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that kind of drew me originally to Valheim too, is seeing it, and it was called Valheim, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'll see what that name is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Gwen, you have an interesting picture here that you sent me. Should I throw this up there now?
Yeah. I didn't prepare a show and tell, or I had another item, but I thought the other item sits on my desk, so I'll show it when I'm next on camera. But since I needed to send you a picture anyway, I thought I'd send you a picture of a couple of weeks ago, me doing combat training, just to illustrate, when I talk about what I do on every Sunday training and so on, so people can imagine what I'm actually up to. So that's me smiling while getting my arm chopped off in a couple of seconds from when that picture is taken. Not chopped off. These are all blunt weapons, but that's just me sparring, I guess, with one of the guys in my group who's huge, as you can see. It's a bit of a David versus Goliath battle here. And it's a pain in the ass to fight him because he's so tall that he can so easily reach, over the top of my shield, as you can see here, and hit me anywhere really from above.
It's
really
guy getting a helm.
Sorry?
Please. Why is the huge guy getting a helmet and you're not?
Not you.
Because I haven't. I will. So he's got a full kit. As you can see, he's got a helmet and mail, and he's got a nice sword because he's been in the society for a couple of years now. So he's built up his kit. I'm still a peasant fighting in a tunic. So on trainings, I don't even bother wearing it. But I do have a gambeson on its way to me that I just purchased. And in a couple of weeks at the reenactment market, I'm going to try to find a helmet. So at least I'm wearing a bit more protection than this. And maybe sometime next year, I'll start investing in chainmail as well. But in the meantime, it's just me and my normal modern clothes fighting with so he's using a sword. I'm using a long knife, but it's my long knife because it's the maximum length that I'm allowed with a long knife. It's basically a mini sword, and I love it
like a
because
short
it's
sword,
super
yeah.
pretty. Yeah, I'll show it on camera at some point, but it's a really very unique item, and I love it. It's my little whippy, pointy, stabby. And then we have as well, the shields are typical Norman kite shields. So they're great because they're like the one I'm using is a standard size, but I'm pretty skinny. So basically I can hide most of my body behind it, except when I'm fighting a guy that's like so much taller than me and can just very easily like get behind, get over the top behind my shield. And he's actually got a shield that's slightly smaller than mine, interestingly enough. Or at least on him, it looks smaller. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that I do when I say I do combat training. I just whack people with metal things and get whacked in return.
Well, I haven't done a lot of combat training myself, but I do, just from this picture, Gwen, I do have one piece of advice. Watch this.
Where I open your eyes.
Yeah, it's probably fight a little better if you open your eyes. That's all I was going to say.
I know this picture is great because why am I smiling and so happy to be beaten up by this like giant of a man? And two, yes, my eyes are closed and it's like obviously I'm anticipating because I can see his arm and the sword like swinging in front of me, so I'm like anticipating the blow, I guess. But the picture is
looks a bit unfair. This picture.
They caught you blinking, but I had to say that because it was funny.
We're having so much fun getting your head chopped off because that's how it looks.
But yeah, rest assured, it's all blunt weapons, so obviously we're not using sharps. And the goal is not to hurt each other. It's even though we do collect bruises, because that's just like any martial art that you do. You collect bruises if you spar. But yeah, the main goal is to touch. It's like taps. We're not actually hitting full force. So like with any other martial arts, where you do sparring, you don't put in your full force. Your objective is not to hurt your opponent, just to show that you managed to hit a zone that counts. So yeah,
very cool. I was hoping you would share a picture of your combat training. That's awesome looking.
Yeah.
Well, Bambi,
I will have probably more pictures to show because this is just like one-on-one, and I just like this picture because I look so silly. But I may have some better pictures from this weekend's training and some of the line fights, which are pretty impressive. Because then if you have like 30 people fighting in a line, you get some pretty cool and historical.
Well, to be honest, Gwen, you still look very cool, even with your eyes closed.
Yeah, even with your eyes closed.
You look so cool with the long knife.
There's a lot of things wrong with what's going on. Like, for example, anyway, well, we'll go in detail, but my shield shouldn't be out so much because, like, obviously now it's not protecting my body, so therefore I'm going to get whacked. But
you wanted to hit him with a shield or what?
Yeah, you're doing a shield bash.
Yeah.
Still look cool.
Well, we'd love to see video of this too, Gwen, maybe on your channel sometime.
Yes.
Yeah, might do. Over on Instagram, I do tend to post a bit more videos of real life stuff like that. So
we want to see you whack the big guy.
Yeah,
he's really good. So I don't know. It's funny though because we get up to shenanigans. Like he's already used me as human shield twice, which I find hilarious because it's always when we're fighting and I'm fighting him and there's other people who are joining in, and then like out of I don't even have time to react, and suddenly I'm being the shield, and someone else is coming towards, ready to attack.
It's a maiden war.
Exactly. Gwen the shield.
Gwen the shield maiden war.
Just cut the maiden off.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Bambi has something interesting here to show us today too.
Yes.
Bambi?
Yes.
What is this? And how do I get one when it's done?
Please describe in detail.
Okay, in one of the podcasts, I was telling I am needle felting. I'm a really creative person in real life as well. I'm needle felting a neck. So this is like the bone structure. Has a lot of needle felting to do, but yeah, you can see the little claws that's in there. That's all iron in there, so I can mold the actual stuffed animal.
Skeleton.
So yeah, the skeleton. Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
Yes.
This,
So do you have to like then needle felt the whole body on top of that structure?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's so much needle felt. For those who are not familiar, and I've not done needle felting myself, but I've seen it done, and it's basically you take what is it? Is it like fluff or is it fabric?
Fluff wool. It's wool that's not fabricated.
Yeah, so wool in its fluffy form, and you have to basically painstakingly prick a needle through it like hundreds and hundreds of times to get it into shape.
It's like fabric tattooing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you need much more pricking into the wool than a normal tattoo.
Uh-huh.
So how big?
How long do you think that's going to?
Yeah, how long and how
big
big?
is it?
How big is it?
Well, it's a bit taller than a glass of wine.
Is that your scale?
Red or white?
No, it's a bit smaller than a normal bottle. White. So bad. I will measure it for you right now.
I know Dipstick is going to definitely want one.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't show him. He will fly over to you.
It's 40 centimeters.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's quite big then.
Yeah, that is big.
And how long?
That's a lot of needle felting.
A lot of work, yeah.
Well, if you are keeping up with these build competitions and these awesome servers, it's going to take me a long time to finish it. Stop creating content.
Blame me.
Yep. All of you.
Oh, very cool. Well, let's see. Everybody's got their show and tell stuff done. All right. So let's see. So I'm going to show you. Gwen showed off her long, short knife. So I thought I'd show off a weapon too. And it's my Viking axe.
Ooh, nice.
Shiny.
Very cool.
Now,
What's it made of?
You know, I have had enough of podcasting, so I thought I would just do this right here on camera. Oh wait, it's not cutting.
Cut the beard.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna end it all, but I can't because it's just it's
it's rubber. Nice.
Yeah,
I was going to say, why is it not making any noise at all? We can't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't need this arm, so I was just going to chop it off. No.
People that are only seeing the end of the stream are going to think you have a problem.
They're like, what's going on? Or even worse, the people who are not watching the podcast, just listening to it, they're like, what is going on? So audio visual description for those who are just listening. Jiroc is showing his new axe, and he proceeded to whack his arm repeatedly with said axe. It's not making any noise, and it's not making a single dent. And that's because it's made out of
some kind of foam rubber. I actually saw this on Grimfrost. They have that axe very similar. I think they've painted it slightly different on the handle, because this is a little too light of a color. So I thought, oh, that's really cool. I tried to order it from them, but they were out of stock, and I don't know when they're going to get it again. So I started searching the internet, and I found it, the exact same one, just slightly different color. And I was like, ooh, I got to have that because it looks pretty cool. And for a Halloween costume thing, It looked
No,
pretty
that's
cool.
perfect.
I had it out, and I,
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
I was a couple of people at the party who also had weapons. We were, and everybody was safe afterwards.
Wow.
So
Well, also because it's rubber, you can probably take it to all the Renaissance fairs and the Viking festivals and stuff.
yeah. Some of there's a few here that like there was a gaming convention that used to be held in San Francisco. I don't know if it still is, like a video gaming conference. And they, I don't remember what it was called, but one of those something con, and they didn't allow people to bring any kind of a weapon, even fake weapons. But I know a lot of them do let you bring in a weapon as long as it's a fake weapon. So, but yeah, so I hope so. I would love to bring this to some of the fairs and stuff now because it looks really great
what you
too,
should
hanging
do?
on my belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should try to repaint it for it to look like the black metal axe or the iron axe in the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Which one does it look most like? Maybe the iron axe?
It looks
Yeah,
most like the bronze axe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could repaint it to make it look like one of the Valheim axes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool. So there you go. That's me show and tell. But when Bambi finishes her neck and sends it to me, I'll show that too. We've come to the end of our podcast, everyone. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me this week.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's it for now. Have fun out there.
What a blast. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. We have new episodes coming out every Friday, and if you enjoyed listening, please support us by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a rating and a review to help more Vikings find us. We also have a Patreon with perks for supporters like behind-the-scenes discussions, exclusive content, and segments that are edited out of the main podcast. And if you'd like to join our friendly Discord community, we have more than 1,000 people there. Just go to discord.gg/Jiroc the Viking. If you'd like to play on my Valheim servers, just go to my website at jiroctheviking.com and submit an application. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my supporters, some of them on Patreon, the YouTube membership, and the ones who help boost our Discord server. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to make more videos, as well as run a community Discord and multiple Valheim gaming servers. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, join our friendly Discord community and Valheim servers. Links can be found in the description below. Skål!